Laymen live. We're not even sure if we're actually already been live.
Everyone gets to see the part there where we're like, we're clicking live, we're doing live.
Hello,
everyone.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, we're having to use that stupid new YouTube studio.
Stupid YouTube. We hate YouTube. Please don't demonetize us.
Not really a big fan of the new studio, but everyone, we're back on a Sunday in Australia. Okay, so here we are at 8 o'clock in the morning, and who needs sleep on a Sunday?
I know, right?
Who
Let's get up at
needs it?
6:30 on a Sunday instead. That's way better.
It is a lot better. What have you been playing this week?
I don't play video games, Sam.
Well, neither do I.
Yeah,
really.
I know.
Real.
Well, that's a known quantity.
That's
pretty
a fact.
known. So they did see the shorts, Sam. They saw them. Everyone saw the
shorts, the sexy shorts.
That's right. So this week I have been playing a few things. So I played some drums.
Yes.
More drums. And I have a video coming out on that soon, so stay tuned. I played Ori and the Will-o'-the-Wisps.
And what about, before we get there, you played Neo.
Wow, thanks for spoiling the thing that I'm not allowed to talk about, Sam.
Oh, I mean, you're not, we haven't played that yet.
Wow, well done, Sam. You did a really good job of doing that.
I had no idea.
Remind me to tell you everything all the time ever.
We haven't played that yet. Okay, so we have played, well, Ralph's played Ori, okay, and we're going to do a Let's Play of that probably tomorrow. This is what happens when you jump into Laymen Live, you get leaks.
Yeah,
like
you get
that.
all sorts of leaks. Exactly,
you know,
right.
Like Death Stranding 2. Like, we haven't played that yet, guys. Okay,
we're actually in the game this time.
we are.
You know how it's like the
otter hat on,
the cosplayers, and there's like the mailman and the roboticist. Sam will just be the loser.
I'll be the loser.
That'd be
I'm
good.
still waiting for Bethesda to put Lemon Gamon Wizards in Fallout. Do you see that?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that's not gonna
that'll be good if you could do that, Bethesda. We would like that. I played, then not that other game. I played Overwatch and Smash. Okay. What else have I played this week? We did Dreams, but that was earlier last week.
Sure.
I don't know what else I played this week. Oh, Final Fantasy 7.
Totally forgot about that.
Yes.
Totally forgot about that. So, yes, that's true. No, but Ori is pretty amazing so far. I don't mind telling you. There'll be a review up next week for it. But look, guys, it's Ori. Obviously, it was going to be great. I won't say any more of it now because I am under embargo. But look, it's a good video game, so no surprises there. And yes, Sam did spoil that I'm also playing Neo 2.
That's
no,
great. I'm just mucking around with you guys.
So
you
that's
actually don't
one.
know now if we're joking. We could be.
We are not joking. I am playing Neo 2, but I don't know when I'm going to have a review out on it because it's really big. Like it's really. If anyone's played the original Neo, you know how long it is. This is a big game, so I don't know what kind of coverage I'll do on it. But I'm playing it. That's the thing. That's what's taking place.
Well, that's what's taking place. Leaked. Okay.
Leaked right here on the Laymen. Exactly right.
Here,
like, where do these leaks come from? Why do you think it's strategic leaks? Yes, Sam. Well done.
There are many places, including Laymen, that will strategically leak everybody.
Yeah.
But apart from that, that's pretty much it in terms of gaming.
Final Fantasy 7 demo. We had the Let's Play up on the channel, so go and watch that. Sam did a fantastic job bringing A-level video game journalist skills to the table.
I did not die.
No,
the whole time.
Yeah,
I did not die. I actually was able to get through that with Barrett, thank God. Okay. Man with a machine gun, he got me through, everybody, thank God. But I really thought when we were doing that Let's Play, I'm like, shit, this is not going to look good because I'm going to die constantly. But luckily, we got there, everybody.
We did.
So,
we did.
And that last 4 minutes of gameplay that you saw, that was about 25 minutes of actual gameplay that we cut down.
Correct.
But we got there.
Thank God for the editor.
We got there.
So guys, welcome to Laymen Live. It's the weekly show where we yell out your super chats so long as they're not too terrible, which, you know, most of the time they're pretty good. So thanks for keep up the good work, team.
Thank you, team.
And we also talk about the news for the week that we haven't covered, smaller stuff that we didn't do a dedicated video on, and also stuff that's broken in the last sort of 48 hours.
Yep.
Yes. Anyway, let's get straight to the. Actually, there's a few super chats we can get started with. We've got Francois. He's back. Welcome back, Francois. He says the 4 horsemen of the Australian apocalypse: bushfires, floods, coronavirus, and toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
We really, guys, if you're going to make any super chat donations, please try and do it in toilet paper. Toilet paper is now the official Australian local currency.
TP.
It's going to make life a lot easier for us when we take wheelbarrows of it to the bank.
Yes.
When the hyperinflation sets in.
I cannot believe the amount of videos that are now popping up of people panic buying and fighting.
Just so you know, in case you're not an Australian, what's happening right now is that Australians are really dumb, okay? And what they're doing is, because they're worried about coronavirus, they've decided that the one thing they can't live without, if they're going to die, is they have to have toilet paper. It's okay if they starve to death, but they can't have
food. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. But you can't not have a clean ass when you're on your way to the apocalypse. Okay?
Bottled water? No, not necessary.
That's unnecessary. You can drink toilet paper. Okay?
Yes, you can.
So these people have been buying up every roll of toilet paper in the country. Every supermarket is out of stock. You go in there, there's a fucking wasteland in the aisle, and people are literally fighting in the aisles right now for toilet paper. That's how far our country has fallen.
I mean, I think it's a really great marketing strategy, probably from Kleenex. Maybe they just like slipped it into social media. Oh, we might run out of toilet paper, guys. You should probably get some at the good old Coles or Woolies.
Yep. So guys, look up videos of people fighting in the supermarket over toilet paper. It's a national shame.
It's happening.
Hopefully there'll be a royal commission looking into how it all took place.
What was worse?
They'll regulate the toilet paper manufacturers.
Yeah, what was worse?
They'll nationalise the manufacturer. It'll go all in, baby.
I wonder what was worse, the Cronulla riots or the toilet paper
Cronulla
fights?
riots? Oh, that's exactly right.
I don't know which one's worse.
Gas Can with $2, he says, will you do Warlords of New York? I'm not sure yet, to be honest with you, purely because there's a lot this month. I've got Ori, which I'm doing Neo 2. We've got Doom coming out as well. I'd like to play Doom's on the 20th, don't forget. Animal Crossing as well. And then after that, fucking Resident Evil 3. Man, it's pretty nuts. I'm going to see what I can do, though.
This is this month? No.
Resident Evil 3 is actually the start of April.
Yeah.
But, like, we're already into March now. Like, we're in, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. We've got Matt, who says, I get to see Laymen dump live. Love you guys. Keep up the great work. Also,
we love you too, man.
I love the new song from Sam. Don't say that. That's terrible. You have bad taste in music. Matt, sorry, let's give this man, who was that? Sorry, that was Matt. Give him a refund. He's got terrible taste in music.
Exactly right.
Blacklisted Podcast Gaming, $5. You guys are the inspiration for this podcast. Would you be up for an interview? I don't know, to be honest.
Maybe.
We get a lot of invites for podcasts. We don't do many of them. Send us an email about it, though, and we'll chat about it.
Sure.
But yeah, let's definitely look into it. Alex Roberts, $2. Morning from WA. Ralph, just started Heavenwood. Congratulations, friend. You're up to the good part. Everything before then kind of sucked. Now you're up to the good part.
$20.
$20 from Diablos.
Very nice,
all this talk about NVIDIA cloud gaming. Do people not realize that you can rent a whole cloud PC? You can, I
did not know you can rent it in time.
You can do anything on a PC, you can do it on a device. The tech I know is called ShadowTech. It's not available in Australia. That's true. I have heard of ShadowTech before.
Interesting.
So that is another thing that will probably get shut down if GeForce Now gets
Marky Mint for £99.
Just a little bit of poop. Thanks, man.
Thank you for the poop.
And watched you guys forever. First time, but thanks for streaming on a US Saturday. Great music video, Sam. Ralph will join for duet. No, I won't, Nick. No, I won't.
No, I want it. The next one to be successful. I don't want him to be on there.
And Michael says Final Fantasy 14 review. Yes, one day it will happen. It will happen.
Yeah. So when is the release date of Final Fantasy again?
Final Fantasy 14?
No, sorry. Was that 7?
That was for 14.
Oh, yeah. That'll never happen.
When's the release date for Final Fantasy 14? 2011.
I don't know, actually, guys.
Yeah,
maybe there'll be another giant meteor egg thing from Bahamas, and they'll make another one.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's get on to the news, shall we? Let's do it. Let's get started. First news story of the day is that Ghosts of Tsushima now has a release date.
I'm actually surprised that we got it this early. I mean, we hadn't heard anything about this, right?
Yeah.
But out of nowhere, they've actually just come out with a trailer. At the very end of the trailer, it does say the 26th of June, 2020. That's pretty cool. And it's pretty close to The Last of Us.
Is it? That's in May.
Oh, there's
But like what I'm saying is, it's not like I would have thought they'd sequence it a lot more. I was expecting this to be like May for Last of Us, and then August, September for Tsushima, which is the last game of the generation for PlayStation.
Yep.
And then the launch of the next gen consoles after that. So I was quite surprised.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised still that we haven't seen a major thing put on by PlayStation to show, the next PlayStation 5.
I reckon. Go on.
I was going to say quickly, and I wonder if this was initially going to be a big part of that, and now they're just like, fuck it, we're not going to do it for a while, and they just want to get this out. They want to get this trailer out. But we might have actually seen this trailer and this release date at the event that they were going to put on in Feb. That was the rumor, and that hasn't happened. So they're like, fuck it, we'll just put this out so people know it's coming.
I reckon
June 26th.
that rumor, everyone had that rumor circulating from multiple sources. I reckon there was an event planned this month, and then they canned it because of coronavirus. I almost guarantee you, like, it was definitely planned they were going to do something for PS5, and now it looks like, who knows?
I mean, that's really close too, by the way. 26th of June. Like, I was expecting when we got a release date it was going to be at least like 9 to 12 months off or something.
Totally.
And there was also like, people out there, including me, thinking maybe this is the next-gen title, you know?
Absolutely.
But I guess not. I guess they want to get this out before. This might be one of those cross ones where you can play it on both.
Sure.
Who knows? But very exciting. And in terms of coronavirus, I don't know. I can't remember if there's any E3. Oh, there is. Yes, there is an E3 news. Yes. We won't touch on that yet.
Yes, we'll come back to that later. Thank you, Stan. Thank you very
More
much.
Spoiling.
Way to maintain the flow of the episode.
More spoiling.
So, one other thing that came out this week was a leak for an unannounced Star Wars project called Project Maverick, which was leaked onto the PSN. So basically, this is the title card. You can see it here. Very exciting. It's weird that it's called Project Maverick, because like usually that sounds like a working title for a game where they actually like, you know.
Sure.
But now it's on the PlayStation Store called Project Maverick.
And there was a bot that accidentally did that, right? I don't think actually it was a human that did it. It was AI taking over.
Yeah.
Maverick. I mean, look, the logo itself for me really shows that there's some effort into that. It doesn't look like a Project Maverick. It looks like the game is called Maverick.
Yeah.
Well,
the game's called Project Maverick.
It says, I think the project might go, and it could be called Star Wars Maverick. You never know.
I don't know, maybe. But either way, this was actually the title that Jason Schreier confirmed was in development at, this was at here we go, this is at Kotaku revealed to be in the works at EA Motive earlier this year. He did describe this to be a sort of offbeat, very different Star Wars title, so don't expect like a Jedi game with lightsabers, open world. It's just not like, you know, Jedi Fallen Order. This hopefully is something like Starfighter, because it's got a picture of a Star Destroyer there, right? Fingers crossed.
We see the X-Wings in the corner there.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if it is going to be actually maybe something very heavily in the Rogue Squadron area.
That'd be so good. I would so be down for that.
We haven't seen that in so long, and I think like 1 and 2, especially 2, like that was so good on the GameCube. We haven't seen anything like that, right, for the last, like, 20 years.
To be fair, in Star Wars Battlefront 2, the space missions are actually fucking sick.
Sure.
They're so good. Like, they're
I didn't
amazing.
love the controls of that one, to be honest.
I love the controls
But, like,
of
the
those.
look of it, the music of it, the actual, like, space combat, it looked amazing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they've just seen that and gone, you know what, we can actually make an entire game. And, like, you know, making 20 missions or whatever they did in Rogue Squadron 2, like, it's very engaging. People will stick around for that. So do it again.
Yeah.
Totally.
Someone will just make it in dreams anyway. It's all good.
So true.
That's fine. Just be patient.
But that's exciting, and that's the news in terms. Is that the only EA news today we have?
I know they cancelled a whole bunch of Apex Legends stuff because of coronavirus.
Oh, I see.
That's the only other EA thing that I saw this week. So anyway, look, super chats. Nandor, he's back with 400 Huffington points. He says shit's happening in Australia. Literally, that's true,
nice,
friend.
nice.
Buckfangs with $10. I think it's good thing if developer and publisher agreed make video games streaming. Untenable means we won't slide any further into a future where we have less claims on the things we buy. Well, I think that it's not going to slow down streaming. It's not like any disagreements over GeForce Now aren't going to slow the advent of streaming. It's just going to slow the advent of a good, fair model for that streaming. So I don't know, man. I hope GeForce Now finds a way to succeed, because right now it's
and the choice is still there.
Shreked.
Like it's just giving you choice. Like you can just go on there and play if you want streaming, or you can still buy that game. So I mean, I don't think it's getting in the way of actually like I think the GeForce Now is super pro-consumer, and I'm it's a real shame to see this flow-on effect from Capcom and...
We'll come back to this point.
Oh, come back to this point too.
Come back to this point.
Yes, we will.
So, yes. Anyway, weekly dono from Gascan. He's back. Keep up the good work, boys. Also, love the new song, Sam. Was that? We already read that one? No, he said...
Just another person loving the song. Like, whatever.
One. That's right.
No,
so,
I do
anyway,
appreciate that, guys.
No, it's a shit song. It's terrible. Don't listen to it. Okay, so, guys, this month... Actually, that's another thing I forgot to mention that comes out this month. HalfLife Alex.
Oh my god, there's a lot of gummers.
There's a lot of games this month.
Good.
So that's on the 23rd of March. And everyone was wondering whether or not we're actually going to be seeing any more Half-Life from Valve as a result of Half-Life Alex. Because we're always like, we're never going to get Half-Life 3, it's not going to happen. Remember like last year, how the writer released the plot for Half-Life 3 as like a spin-off fan story?
No.
Yeah, that happened. So like one of the writers from Valve actually wrote this kind of like blog post thing that basically had the plot for Half-Life 3 as a form of closure for the community. Like, we're never going to get Half-Life 3, but here's sort of what would happen without me getting sued.
And now he's no longer working at Valve.
I actually don't know what's happening.
Yeah, but that's interesting because, I mean, look, okay, well, you read the story, then we'll go into it.
Sure. So anyway, basically, we never thought we were going to get Half-Life 3. there's a chance we still might get a Half-Life 3 because Valve have said that they're planning on Alex to be the return to Half-Life, the Half-Life universe. Quote, Half-Life means a lot to us. It's been incredibly rewarding to re-familiarize ourselves with its character settings and mechanics. There are Half-Life Alex team members who have been at Valve since Half-Life 2 and quite a few who go back to the original Half-Life. There's also people on the team for whom Half-Life Alex is their first time working on this series at all, and many of them certainly hope it's not the last. We hope to see Half-Life Alex as our return to the world, not the end of it.
That's what I was going to say. Look, I think this is like Half-Life 2.5 right now, right? So they obviously want to see how this goes. I have no doubt that if this is not a smash hit, if this is a smash hit, we'll either see a lot more VR Half-Life world building. We'll see more of that.
I don't know.
Potentially, right?
Potentially.
Or we'll be like, okay, cool, Half-Life is still hot, like we can actually use this. And then they will go and make Half-Life 3. Or maybe Half-Life 3 is such a meme that they'll just, in terms of it's never coming, that they'll just make another Half-Life without the 3 on it, and it'll actually be on platforms. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
That might be what they'll do.
That's true. And look, just in case you weren't aware, Black Mesa released officially this week, which is a fan-made remake of Half-Life, the original Half-Life, updated with modern visuals. They've been working on it for 15 years, and it's just hit 1.0 this week. All the reviews on it are extremely positive. They've done a fantastic job of it. So go and get it if you haven't. Might be a good.
Are they monetizing that?
Yeah.
I hope they are.
Yeah, they are. You buy it. I don't actually know how it works.
Does Gabe?
I don't know what slice Gabe takes of that. I'm sure he takes something.
Cool, yeah.
But it's also cool if they make. I hope they make a mozza out of it, and then they go on to become a successful studio or something. It's all like people spread all over the world doing their thing. But they worked together 15 years to create this thing, which everyone says is great. Good on them, man.
100%. And we can maybe do a Let's Play that.
Might be cool to revisit that, actually.
That'd be kind of cool.
You haven't played the original Half-Life, have you?
I think I've played
Half-Life 2? Have you?
Yes.
Really?
17,
so you remember? Have you finished Half-Life 2?
No, I didn't finish it.
Okay, right. Okay.
But
welcome
I have
to
played
City
it.
17. Anyway, guys, I would be really excited to see more Half-Life, obviously, as would everyone. But we'll see. I don't want to get my hopes up when it comes to Valve, man. They have way more disappointments under their belt than they have. That's probably not a bit unfair. They've made some incredible stuff over the years, but at the same time, there's been lots of times when we were hoping they would continue that, and it just didn't happen.
Well, the thing is, they've just got such a huge win with Steam, and this is the reason we haven't seen anything. And CSGO...
And Artifact.
Of course. Sorry, of course.
Give credit where it's due.
Just, of course.
Come on now.
But look, CSGO is also a huge phenomenon for them, and it has continued to be. So, of course, it hasn't made sense for them to have to go back to the drawing board and need to make stuff.
Sure.
But maybe this will be it. Maybe they, I really do think that what they've done with Half-Life Alex has given a huge boost also to VR. So maybe, they'll double down on that. And do more VR stuff.
Indexes are coming back in stock on Monday if you live in Civilization, aka not Australia. Everywhere else can buy a Valve Index. We can't.
Anywhere that's not fighting over toilet paper.
That's right. That's the litmus test.
It is.
That Gabe's at that point, sorry guys, you can't be trusted with this product.
Yep.
We're going to give it to
how you treat animals and if you fight over toilet paper. That's the level of where you are in society.
So, Adnan Javed with £2 says, take it easy from Scotland. We will, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Anton with 285 rubles. Make Sam play Black Mesa. I mean, he's so good at first-person shooters, right?
I'm very good.
It should be easy. Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
Let's do it.
Definitely watch that. Judson with $2 says, EA also shutting down Ghost from Need for Speed. I don't know what that is. Not sure what that means, but let us know.
Is Ghost a studio? No.
No, I've never heard. There's not a Ghost studio. No.
No.
Nelson, $5. Love the music video, Sam. Let me do the rest of your music on Spotify. Any chance of releasing the lyrics, chords, sheet music? No.
I can do that if you wish.
No, don't. It's garbage.
It'll be $100 per person.
That's right. It'll just be the dick butt man over and over again instead of music.
It'll
notes.
be
M. Ali says, I still can't believe it was your voice in the song. Joe says, Sam is cameoed on the couch. Thanks for the news each week. Camoed, that's what it means.
Camoed.
He's wearing a red shirt. That's why I stopped wearing red shirts on Laymen.
Oh,
yes.
Good. I think we have the same shirt, by the way.
We basically have the same library.
Yes.
We don't share clothes, by the way. We literally just buy the same.
We just have the same mum, and when it's Christmas time, she buys the same stuff.
Exactly right. She'll buy a blue shirt for you this year and a red shirt for you, and the next year she buys the red shirt for you and the blue shirt for the other one. So it's quite clever, Mum. It's a good scam you got going there.
It is very good.
Greetings from New York City, says Adam, $5. Love the channel. Keep up the great content. Thank you very much. Thoughts on Total War New Zealand? This is from Zaid. My friend, here's the honest truth. I've never actually properly played a Total War game.
Not a game.
I have. I've only played like 1 or 2 hours of them, and I'm like, whoa, this is complicated. And then I stop and I never go back.
because we've had it once on our computer.
Yeah, we had like
in the early 2000s.
Shogun, I think. Yeah.
Yes, I think.
So I've played that. I've played Rome, but literally for no more than like 1 or 2 hours. I cannot tell you how those games work. I would like to, because everyone says the Warhammer one in particular is very good. So, Joe So with $3, drinks on me if you end up at Pixel Bar in Melbs. I don't even know there was a Pixel Bar in Melbs.
Yeah, that's the gaming
Is it based
bar,
on the
isn't
movie?
it?
Is it based on the Pixel?
Oh, is that
movie?
Spawn Point or something? There's a gaming
No, Spawn
bar.
Point's in Sydney.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Cyrus became a new member. Thank you very much, Cyrus. We appreciate you. And Ghost was the studio that made the last 3 Need for Speeds. I didn't know it was called Ghost.
Ralph was wrong.
I never heard it was. I never heard it was called Ghost.
Ralph is an idiot.
Anyway, thank you very much for that information, Fred. Let's
Thank you.
continue with the news, guys. Unfortunately, coronavirus, it's still a thing.
It's happening.
And it's leading to some big changes in the gaming world. Epic has cancelled Unreal Fest for Europe. Such a shame.
I didn't even know
all
that was
those
such a thing.
people who wanted to pick it outside Tim Sweeney, all those slash fuck Epic,
Yep.
like slash r fuck Epic
Yep.
Reddit members, they can't go and picket line now. Very
That's a
sad times
shame.
for them. So that event is canned because of coronavirus. We also have Games First London 2020. Don't know what that is, but it was
No
an
idea.
event. And Google I/O, which I do know what it is, also they cancelled because of coronavirus.
It's just getting to the point where not only these major events, but like even my girlfriend's work functions and things, like business small groups of like events are getting cancelled. It's just getting crazy. Like everywhere is cancelling events now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
know?
Nvidia switches GTC to 2022 online conference amid coronavirus concerns. So that's another one, and this is in addition to all of the cancelled esports events. Where, in fact, most sporting events now are playing in front of empty stadiums because they're
And
worried
Olympics,
about that.
man, I reckon that's going to be on the chopping block. I really don't think that Olympics might go forward.
Olympics, that is a big question mark. It's a really big deal to cancel the Olympics, like billions of dollars
Sure.
lost.
Sure.
But they could delay it by a year. There's no reason
They
the
could do
Olympics
that.
couldn't happen next year and then
Yes.
it gets back on cycle.
That's
Like, why
very
not,
true.
man?
It's very true.
So look, that's that. The other thing that's happening is Bungie are actually have issued an update, and their staff are going to be working from home during this period. They basically say that health and well-being of their people are top priority, and that they've activated a fully remote work infrastructure and policy for all Bungie employees across the globe, with the goals of prioritizing the safety of employees and continuing to develop, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, basically a lot of companies right now are moving to working from home arrangements as a result of this.
I mean, imagine if the Laymen had to work from home.
That'd be tough, man.
I mean,
you have to play video games from home.
Yeah, and we'd have to edit from home.
That'd be tough.
We already do that.
I don't know how
But
to do it.
I mean, would we actually meet every day if it became
Just
this
do like one of those
gigantic
webcam
pandemic?
things, like those podcast
Yes.
things with like 2 webcams, and that's Layman.
I think that's what we'd have to do.
Yeah, totally.
That's right, guys.
So the
We
Laymen
would
are also
continue.
set up for remote working as well, guys. We got you. Don't worry. The Layman show will always go on.
We will endure.
That's
Don't
right.
worry.
Now, all right. So, guys, now time for our top story. Top story is that 2K Games is dirtbag company as usual. What a surprise! Who'd have thought? And they've decided to pull their games from Nvidia's GeForce Now service, including titles such as the Borderlands franchise. So, quote, per publisher request, please be advised that 2K Games titles will be removed from GeForce Now today. This is a statement from Nvidia themselves. We are working with 2K Games to re-enable their games in the future.
When they got the contract.
Yeah, when they get their
place.
when they get their toilet paper,
Yep.
then they'll play ball. But until that time, they're not interested.
Ah, dear.
So, guys, just in case you weren't aware, GeForce Now is the cloud streaming service from Nvidia.
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 Nvidia. That's how you
Anyway,
say
so
it.
they've made it, and they did a really good job of testing it over many years. It was completely free during the beta test. Now it's $5 a month. They have over 1 million subscribers and 1,500 games on their
Yep.
service. Right? Very positive feedback from everyone.
There's just one problem with it. The developers aren't making money off it.
Correct.
That's literally the problem with it right
exactly
now.
the problem with
and
it.
that's a legitimate problem when all these people start pulling their games because it's too pro-consumer. And I mean, we all love it, but the bottom line is all these companies are going into the next phase of gaming, which is streaming. Or at least it's going to be a heavy part of the next phase of what gaming is. And at the moment, they are not getting their whistle wet with.
just want to wet my beak a little bit, you know?
So they are obviously going back to the drawing board and seeing how they can get some money out of Nvidia.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. It is a very, very good service, GeForce Now, in the sense that from a consumer perspective, again, we don't have it in Australia because we have the worst internet, but from a business model perspective, you compare it to anything else out there right now, it is the best of the best. It's literally just renting a PC in the cloud, okay? And then after that, you install your games on it and off you go. Now, I know everyone's going to be like, talking about, oh, legally they're not allowed to do this. You don't know, we don't know, let's not pretend like we know. Let's just admit that when it comes to the law, there's probably going to be some way for these companies to basically tell NVIDIA where to go, and that's why NVIDIA is complying. The law is most likely on the publisher's side when they ask not to have this service. I have no doubt that they would win in court if this is the case, because like it or not, GeForce Now is a form of distribution, okay? It's different to Steam. They're not charging money for it, but it is a form, it is a platform. So I'm sure when lawyers get involved, they're going to lick their chops and think, okay, let's make this happen. And I'm sure NVIDIA would probably lose that case.
And we've also seen, I was going to say, sorry, quickly, the even small devs, like we covered it this week, The Long Dark pulled their game too.
Sure.
Because the bottom line is, these smaller devs are also worried that, instead of being able to sell their game over
their game twice. Whatever.
2 or 3 platforms, they're actually then reduced to only selling it once. It's a shitty thing, but I mean, this is where it's all coming from, and I think we're going to see bigger and bigger people pull out of it.
But, well, I mean, pretty much, a lot of them are already out. We'll come to one example that's not pulling out soon, but a lot of them are already out. As I said, Capcom, Square, Activision Blizzard, 2K, Bethesda, and now you've got this one indie dev as well. I don't know if there'll be more to follow with that. But it is just a very disappointing trend when everyone was so concerned about cloud gaming and being like, oh, it erodes ownership and whatever else. The one solution that came along that actually was pretty good from an ownership perspective and really protected consumers' rights and was a really fair deal and it operated well, that service is on the ropes now and everyone's pulling out from it. That's so disappointing. Whereas Stadia, all the developers are like, yeah, Stadia, we'll partner with you. Why? Everyone hates that service.
Yeah, look, the only way I think this is going to move forward, sadly, is I think that Nvidia is going to get to some sort of agreement that part of the subscription payment will go to these developers. I don't think that NVIDIA is ever going to go to a model now that you have to buy the game on NVIDIA first. I reckon that's not going to be the thing. It's going to be, okay, cool, let's make sure that you guys get a percentage
It's such bullshit because, literally, these fucking, you've already bought the game on Steam. They've already been, they've already been paid for their game, and then they want to be paid for it again so you can play it on the cloud. Versus if you had Steam Link and you played it, in the fucking lounge room as opposed to the thing, that's fine. But if you want to play it on your balcony on your phone because your Wi-Fi doesn't reach and you have to whatever, do you know what I mean? It's such bullshit. It just makes me really angry that they want to double dip like this.
Yeah, look,
you've already got the money, man.
I honestly think this is all coming from fear of not knowing what cloud is going to be like. Are they going to get into a situation where they're setting a precedent that they're losing big in money financially? But I think hopefully it'll all iron itself out. Stadia is probably going to be a bit of a fail. I don't think it's going to be coming back. I think it's going to be the Project X Cloud, PlayStation Now, and hopefully
something
GeForce.
like this. Hopefully GeForce survives. Hopefully, having a computer in the cloud is not a new idea. As I said, there has been Shadow before this, which is another service. And I'm sure there are other ones we don't even know about. Cloud-based PCs have been around for a long time. I remember hearing about cloud-based technology existing 2 decades ago, by the way, in terms of prototyping in different places or even earlier than that, actually. So this is an old idea, and now it's being brought to the world of video games, and publishers are fighting it because they want to be able to charge you again for their stuff, and I just think it really sucks. So anyway, that's the reality of GeForce Now. Toss a coin to your GeForce if you if you have any interest in a service like this. Go and check it out. You can check it out for free, and then you can pay $5 a month for it if you want to use it. As I said, people have very positive things to say about it, so go see for yourself if you want to have a look at it. Ori just installed. We'll do that later. We won't launch that now, otherwise we'll break NDA.
Yes.
One very notable exclusion from this discussion is everyone's favorite desperate consumer advocate,
Yes.
a true pillar
Yes.
of pro-consumer sentiment in the world of video games. I'm talking, of course, about Tim Sweeney. Tim Sweeney of Epic Games tweeted out just today, Epic is wholeheartedly supporting NVIDIA's GeForce Now service with Fortnite and with Epic Games Store titles that choose to participate, including exclusives, and will be improving the integration over time. It's the most developer-friendly and publisher-friendly of the major streaming services with zero tax on game revenue. Game companies who want to move the game industry toward a healthier state for everyone should be supporting this kind of service. Cloud streaming services will also be key players in ending the iOS and Google Pay payment monopolies in their 30% taxes. Apple has decreed that these services aren't allowed to exist on iOS and therefore aren't allowed to compete, which is megalomaniacal.
There we go.
Thank you very much, and won't stand. Just waiting until later this year when Google is lobbying against Apple for blocking Stadia from iOS, when Google blocks GeForce Now, xCloud, and Fortnite from Google Play, and this whole rotten structure begins collapsing in on itself.
I did not know that iOS was not allowing this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I totally would get that Apple are the scummiest company on the
I
planet.
get it.
When it comes to protecting their ecosystem, I only expect the absolute lowest of the low behavior from Apple. I despise Apple, by the way. Of all the companies on the planet, I despise Apple.
I think this is the greatest lie in terms of companies like Apple good. Apple not good. Apple not good.
Such garbage.
I mean, the amount that they just squeeze out of people that put their stuff on their app store. The ridiculous price of the shittiest of laptops. It is made very well, no two ways about it. But if you actually compare it to any other actual powerful Windows laptop,
Apple tax, man.
it's no way close. But I was going to say quickly, the only thing that I think Tim is saying here that has been quite consistent is he's developer friendly. With the Epic Game Store, it has been it's 12%. For them to...
he has been good to developers.
He
There's
has
no doubt
been
about
very
that.
consistent with his message with pro developers.
Yes.
And he's saying this is the most developer-friendly thing. It's... I do think that if Tim Sweeney can lead the charge on this, he's a pretty big figure here. Maybe some developers and publishers will stay on there because of this message.
Sure. I mean, look, yeah, obviously don't agree with everything Tim Sweeney says or does, but when you're right, and he's certainly right about this one. It is the most pro-consumer choice that can be made. It is obviously also good for developers if they want to go down this path, so it's good that he's sort of speaking up about this. Hopefully other developers can do the same.
Yeah, but I will say also, it's an easy thing for him to even decide because his game's free to play anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, but then there's also all the Epic Store stuff and the Epic, like he says, and with Epic Game Store titles that participate and they'll improve the integration over time. So, you can assume that there's going to be those titles
of
as
course.
Well and exclusives at the Epic Game Store. He very well, Tim Sweeney right now could have been building a cloud streaming solution related to the Epic Game Store and then saying, no thanks, I don't want anything to do with you.
Totally. But the name of the game for him is how many eyeballs can I have on my game, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's free to play, and it's all about getting them to buy cosmetics, right? So in this
one game. You just think about one game.
Yeah, sure. But I hear you. But I'm saying this in that regard, I can see where he's coming from. Where
sure.
he's, yeah. I mean that's ultimately it. But with Tim Sweeney good today.
Tim Sweeney good today. That's right. Yes. So, guys, we'll keep you updated on the GeForce Now situation. It's obviously going to evolve quickly. I don't think the service is going to go anywhere, but it's in a lot of trouble, right? And as more and more people, as more and more major publishers pull out, the service really lacks relevance unless you can get very big titles on there. It's really cool if you have lots of smaller stuff, but a service probably can't survive like that. It needs really big titles. So it's going to have Cyberpunk, for example, and that's great. It's going to have the Epic Games stuff, and that's cool.
Yeah.
There's other publishers, which I'm no doubt forgetting right now, which is going to stay on there.
Actually, I don't think we are forgetting. I can't think of any major publishers that have stayed on here now. Literally.
I mean, nothing comes to mind right now, but... Well, I don't know, actually. I don't think EA games are on there. I think they must have been pulled from the service before the beta finished. Or maybe they were never even involved in the beta. EA are working on their own streaming platform as well.
gone, right?
I don't know. Ubi have not pulled out of there, so I guess they're still on there.
Okay, so they're still on there. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so anyway.
Anyway.
Oh, here goes. I hope Ubisoft won't leave GeForce Now, says Nandor. For 1,000 huffing points, I played Division 2 on it and it runs smooth. My PC would barely handle it, and Tim Sweeney should shut up. Fair enough. There you go. Nice little dig at Tim at the end there. Let's do some more super chats. We got Matt Hansen for $5. Ghostwood Studio, we said that. Hey from Aberdeen, Scotland, says Deborah. Thank you very much. That's £5. Thanks for continuing great content. Lovely to have you here, Deborah. Blacklisted Gaming Podcast. Where can I email? In our bio, you'll see the email address for that. So hit us up on that, Blacklisted. The Vicarious 1987 for $5. Snag a roll of toilet paper on me, boys. If you haven't checked out the new Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, you should take a look. I did see a headline about that, but I haven't looked at it. I will check that out actually. Yeah. White Wolf, $5. Finally able to watch you boys live. Much love from Utah. Logistics were possible. Would ever be part of one of Angry Joe's review skits? Yeah,
100%. 100%. Look,
I don't think it'd be possible given the fact that he lives in
geographically.
Texas,
there's issues there, right? But I think that if we go to E3, if it's even going to happen, which we'll get to later,
yeah, we were gonna meet up with Joe this year at E3.
Yeah. And Yong, we're going to do like the whole
and
Trinity.
also
oh, that's right.
Jake Baldino from Game Rex. Like we had a whole thing planned this year for E3, so if it doesn't happen, we're gonna be really bummed out. Because we had some big plans for this year in terms of who we were meeting up with and who we're doing content with. So it'll be a real shame, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, Avantgarde says for $5 New Zealand dollars, Ralph, it's pronounced Nvidia, not Nvidia. Love from your brother in New Zealand. Sure, is that a thing?
Sure, bro.
Sure,
I think like sure, bro, like see ya.
Is
I
it
think
sure?
that's
I
what
don't
it
know what
means.
CHUR
Like peace or something.
Is that what it means? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
New Zealanders, we don't get you.
We don't get you, man.
You guys are crazy. AJ Freeberg says to get Sam's voice out of my head. For $5, great song though. Keep it up.
Thank you, man.
More love for Sam's terrible song right there. Spectre for $10. Love the videos. Keep up the good work. Will Ralph be playing Trials next weekend? No, I'll definitely not be playing Trials. I actually never liked Trials, to be honest with you. I like normal Crucible, but I never enjoyed Trials of Osiris. Trials of the Nine, whatever it's called. I just never got into it. I mean, it was just always so sweaty and.
So sweaty.
It was super sweaty, and I always loved Crucible because I like relaxed play, but I never got into the sweats. 2K should make a deal with AGL, no power, no games.
AGL? What's AGL again?
Australian Gas and Lighting. $2 and that, Dylan. Thank you very much. That was a good one, Dylan. Klex with €10. This is for introducing me to Friendly Geordies. Keep up the stellar work. Yes,
so good.
He makes good shit.
Totally worth watching.
Did you see how he parodied Sam this week with the record reviews?
No, he was
parodying Sam.
Everyone knows who he was doing.
That's right.
He was parodying me.
Mandor, I've already got that one. Blacklisted is back with another $5. The only quality thing to come out of 2K recently was when their Twitter page was hacked. I do remember them getting hacked, but I don't remember.
That was ages ago, and that was obscene what they were saying. Yeah,
Square Enix should still be on GeForce Now. No, it's not, unfortunately. They're taken off. That was my point. Anyway, guys, that's more of the super chats. Let's get back to the news, shall we?
Imagine the FF14 on your phone. That would be pretty cool.
Oh my god, couldn't imagine anything worse. You could actually, it is actually set up for controller, so you could actually do it. That's fine. Here's an interesting story, guys. Turns out Bethesda, they're what the hell? Why is my keyboard not working? Okay, no keyboard, I guess. Turns out Bethesda expected more Fallout 76 players would want to murder each other. Recently, the Peter Hines man, he's been doing some of the press for some reason. He's been talking to people.
I mean, how are they still doing press for this
goddamn thing? Sorry?
How are they still doing press for this goddamn thing?
Well, they've got an expansion coming out soon. So they're trying to hype it up.
We should do a Let's Play.
Oh, God, I can't imagine anything worse.
Do we have to, level our character up, or is it just like you can enter it?
I have no fucking clue.
I've got no idea.
I don't even want to know.
All we know is there's some serious views in it.
Roasting that game.
Just showing the fact. Look, all jokes aside, this game has picked itself up a little bit in terms of some people love it now. The community that still play it feel like this is, a lot better than it was when it first launched.
I just feel like, here's the thing, right? I feel like, No Man's Sky, for example, it was such a meme. Okay, first of all, let's talk about this story, okay? Basically, here's the quote. We were a little surprised how few people wanted to take part in PvP and how many more they were interested in PvE together. as opposed to I want to test my mettle against you and go into a duel. This is Pete Hines in an interview with US Gamer saying the stuff that basically every single person on the planet told him before the game went live and was in development. Everyone was yelling this from the rooftops. I remember being in the crowd at in Dallas for QuakeCon when Todd Howard announced, by the way guys, PvP is going to be opt-in, and the crowd went fucking nuts. They were just like, we're going, tears of joy, because they hate PvP so much. To hear that they could like have to opt into it, they were like, thank you, Todd, you saved the game. Nobody in the Fallout community wanted a PvP game. No one was asking for this. And for them to be like, we were really surprised by how few people wanted to do this. It's like, fuck off, man. What the hell are you talking about, you know?
Yeah, I remember when we actually, when we even first saw that at QuakeCon, we were both pretty like, this looks a bit, and of course it did come out, and it was a giant.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, I'm surprised that that they've even come out with a expansion. It's kind of good that they did in a way, because of course some people are playing it and they want to rebuild that Fallout brand. But like, so like, kind of good on them, kind of for keep going.
I just don't agree. I feel like, again, with like No Man's Sky, for example, okay, like, or even Destiny 2.
No Man's Sky was a complete and utter lie. This is
no, but No Man's Sky, like, okay, No Man's Sky, it was a lie, but it was also like a team of 6 people who worked. Obviously, Sean Murray had a big mouth,
and he was probably green to the whole thing.
He was very new to the whole thing.
So what? He just wanted to get everyone on board because he was super excited about it.
He was, and so and he really swung for the fences with that game as well. So I have a lot of sympathy for like Sean Murray in that situation. Even like Destiny 2, for example, really shoddy launch product. But it wasn't a bad video game. It just wasn't like a great version of Destiny. You know, like The Division, which launched a really broken mess. But like, at least they really tried for some shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of new ideas, a lot of shit that didn't quite work, a lot of broken bugs and whatever, but they really tried for some new stuff there. But with Fallout 76, it was so lacking in ambition. It was such utter fucking toilet water garbage that I was like, what? Why does this even exist? And so now I'm so not sympathetic to the good job, they rebuilt it. Like, of all the games across the entire spectrum, this is the one where I'm like, no, fuck you. Even Anthem, I would be somewhat sympathetic to them coming back. Because I'm like, look, at least you tried, okay? You really fumbled it, but you tried to do some new shit. Fallout 76 says, what's the minimum amount we can do to make the most boring-ass game possible and charge the most for microtransactions, and what's the maximum amount we can lie to our consumers throughout the entire process?
No one is disputing that.
That's Fallout 76.
No one is disputing that. What I'm saying, though, is...
That's my little rant.
That's quite a big rant.
It was.
There's a lot of people that... well, a small amount of people, let's be real, that are still playing this game. That love this game.
Yeah.
Sure. For them to go back and, you know, and make this for them, I still think, cool, that's good for you to do that for them. No, everyone knows that this was also a huge... Not only was it a meme, but it was like the next like benchmark of how much you can destroy a franchise. It really was.
It really was, yeah.
I mean, no one's disputing that. But the people that are playing this, it is good to see that they've got something else to play. Because like Anthem pretty much just pieced out. Now we are seeing now Anthem 2 or whatever, but for a long time we saw absolutely no content and no roadmap whatsoever. So anyway, 576 meme, we might do it. We might do it. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I just would be angry the entire time while we're playing it. I would be angry installing it. I'd be angry booting it up. I'd be angry playing it. I'd be angry saying anything about it.
Yeah, we should do Metal Gear Survive.
Why?
Because you remember you were like, I refuse to play that game, everybody.
Fuck that game.
Because it wasn't Kojima.
That's right.
I would still like to do it. I would still like to do it. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah, good old Kojima. Actually, speaking of Kojima, that's a nice segue.
All right, let's do that. You should have seen that. He just flipped it right to the front. It was very smooth.
See, producer, presenter, all in one, baby.
Nice, very nice.
That's right. Roll tape 2.
Here we go.
And then my computer is still not working. Why is this... you suck. Anyway,
here we go.
Okay, guys, Hideo Kojima, God bless him. He's doubled down on his recent commentary with regards to Death Stranding. You Americans...
You don't get it, that's what he says.
It's just not for you, okay? Americans, no, just keep moving.
It's more for the European crowd.
That's right, the auteurs, the people who really, the people of culture, says Hideo. He speaking about why he actually did an interview with New York Times Magazine, the Lion New York Times.
Yeah.
He says in America they're used to shooters. so they don't gulp it down about, he's talking about Death Stranding. Kojima says, it's okay, everyone can evaluate what they want. It's like, that's fine.
Yeah.
You guys can think whatever you like about whatever.
Yeah. He's obviously pretty chuffed with his own little creation, and he doesn't need anyone to really,
He says,
justify if it's good.
He says he's keen to see what people think about Death Stranding over the next few years. In 3 to 5 years, we will see what people have to say, he said. Very confident.
Look, yeah, I was very surprised when we saw those review scores.
Sure.
I thought it was going to be smash of the park, and I did think at the time, and I still kind of feel personally, that what they were trying to do with that game, it was so ambitious, it was like completely new, a walking simulator that I don't think we've ever I've never experienced anything like that before.
No one's experienced anything like Death Stranding before.
Exactly,
Completely new.
So, based on how courageous and brave it was trying to be, I felt like, it was a game of the year for me, personally. But some people just didn't like it. They just thought it was
absolutely hated it.
They just thought it was an intellectual wank, you know. And fine, I get why some people just didn't like it.
Sure.
But I loved it, and I don't think he's going to change his opinion.
I think he's also a little bit right about the whole 3 to 5 years from now. I think it'll be remembered much more fondly than
like Star Wars 1, 2, and 3.
I think that those only got better in retrospect because the new ones suck so badly.
Maybe Death Stranding 2 will suck, and he's like, see, Death Stranding 1 was good.
Not so bad, huh?
It was really good.
But I do believe that people will recognize the influence of this game more over time, because there's a lot of new systems in this game that I think are going to be influential in future games, and I think that'll only become evident with years.
As time goes on, yeah, for sure.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm just trying to think, what games have come out that we realised later were good? I mean, that's quite rare, isn't it? It's quite rare. We see that in movies. We see that in movies sometimes.
I mean, there's like the cult status. Like, for example, Fallout New Vegas, I feel like a lot of people, when it came out, they're like, yeah, it's Fallout, I guess, more of it, and it's got lots of bugs. And it was only after many years that people were like, oh, it's an absolute masterpiece, and it's the, fucking crowning achievement of Obsidian and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a few games that kind of just build cult momentum after their release, but I can't think of any game that everyone's like, no, this sucks, and then years later they're like, oh, actually it's genius. I can't think of any games like that.
Speaking of cult games that are very small, Final Fantasy VII Remake, everyone, side quests will be as large as the main story. That's hard to believe. I mean, it's already
I
apparently...
don't think it is hard to believe.
But they're saying that each disc or whatever, each part is 60 hours, right? Now, that's obviously it's probably 60 hours is not going to be the campaign. So maybe the campaign is 40 hours.
I think...
Because the side story then...
No, because here's what I think, right? I think... Because I read... Jason Schreier did a really interesting article on this, basically like, this first 60 hours only covers essentially 1/10 of the Final Fantasy story, because it's all set in Midgard, right? So if the game is going to be 60 hours long, then maybe it's only about 20 hours of actual story, and then maybe there's like a lot of side content to pad out the adventures in Midgard. That would actually make sense to me. A lot of people are very concerned about this whole cutting up the story and whatever, and releasing multiple things.
Yeah,
and I think padding it out with side content would be some way to kind of like justify the price.
I think that we see in most games a side quest. There's definitely like a stigma attached to it. Like it's going to be less value. It's going to be less effort, maybe less dialogue, less meaning to the overall story. But maybe this is going to be a situation where you do have the main story and then the side quest, because they're so large in their presentation. Sounds nice. Then we are going to... That is actually going to maybe redefine what we know as a side quest.
I mean, I don't think it's going to redefine, but
you know what I mean, right?
Like, maybe it's going to have some good side quests.
Well, I mean, good side quest is one thing, but like to make half the game a side quest available, time thing, that's huge. I don't think we've ever seen that, right? Have we ever seen a game come out that half the game is going to be side quests?
I mean, that's usually not a good thing. Most of the time, it's just open world filler when they do.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right?
So.
Like, it's just randomly generated crap like Skyrim and stuff. You can just constantly
you just trigger a lot of people.
No, but you know what I mean, right? Like,
I mean, Skyrim isn't really about randomly generated crap either, so I don't agree with that.
No, but it is randomly generated side quests that come up to you, and it's all just like built into the coding and stuff.
Oh, yeah, but
you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that the side quests are going to be randomly generated here. What I'm saying is, hopefully, if they're going to make half this game side quests, I'm expecting it to be quite padded out, as you said, and quite deep. But we'll have to see.
Anyway, I'm very excited for Final Fantasy VII.
Oh,
that
totally.
demo
It was
I
amazing.
played was incredible.
It was so good.
Just super pumped. A lot of people are quite cynical about it. I'm just like, look, man, Even if it's not the full thing, I think it's still going to be a cool adventure to see what they do with it. It plays beautifully. It looks amazing. It sounds incredible. I'm down for it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, that's that. Let's do some super chats. Sam, you're really hitting me in the feels right now, says Philippe. Don't know what that's in relation to, but $5. Thank you very much, Philippe.
I'm guessing it's not
and Scotty says $5. Here's some layman love. Quick question. How do you guys feel about Ghost Recon Breakpoint and Ubisoft's effort to fix it? That's a really good question, because they're doing like an immersive mode at the end of the month.
Okay.
Which I believe is like stripping out all the bullshit and actually making a real Ghost Recon game.
That's another game that needs to be completely rebuilt.
Yeah, exactly. Again, that's another one where, okay, you know, Ubisoft just went way too far with that one, right? I mean...
it was the tipping point of like, everything's
Totally.
the same.
It was a tipping point. It was Ubisoft's breakpoint. I know that sounds like a meme, but it really is. Like, Ubisoft has been building to the point where they're just getting closer and closer to that kind of garbage, like just garbage game, and they made it with breakpoint, and now they're trying to fix it. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm curious.
It's one thing to monetize in shitty ways and whatever, but like, you can put two Ubisoft games together and just make them all T-pose, right? Like, take out the aesthetics, right? And they're exactly the same game,
Sure.
in so many ways. But anyway,
I mean, even like Division 2 and Ghost Recon Breakpoint were very similar in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously there's a lot of differences, but a lot of systems were shared, and that just doesn't belong in a game like Ghost Recon.
even Assassin's Creed, I like, you know, the open world stuff and all that
sure.
kind of stuff. It all just like amalgamates together and just one big blob.
UB
blob.
Caden with $2 says, I really enjoy your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Caden. The Zeitgeist says, been hearing 3 installments of Final Fantasy. If true, then the rest of the game would be more rushed through, says the Zeitgeist.
That does sound like the logical thing.
No, I don't
maybe.
think so, because you'd spend a lot of...
Nice.
You spend a lot of time building an engine, building sound, building like the basics of stuff with games, and then after that it takes far less time to make content.
I think he's referring to 10% of the game is in Midgar, so the other 2 discs are what are going to be, you know, 45% of the... I mean,
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. Justin with $10, thank you very much, friend. It seems like Kojima wants his video game judged differently. While yes, I love the story, but to my mind it was a great story, while light on game mechanics, maybe I'm wrong. I can understand that. I think the game mechanics were actually the strongest part of that game, but everyone has
the journey from A to B.
Yeah, I think the story was
awesome.
The story was pretty cool, but I didn't love it, but I love the mechanics. I just love like the struggle of getting through the snow and like, it was amazing.
No game has
Some of
ever
those
quite,
journeys.
no game has ever quite done that for me. Like, you know, made you go like 6,000 freaking 6 kilometers or 10 kilometers, and you feel that 10 kilometers.
Yeah. Anyway. Anton with 100 rubles says The Witcher 3 has a lot of side quests, and I mean a lot. It does have a lot of side quests.
That's true. I was thinking that when we were talking about that.
That's a true fact. Guys, what do we got here? We got Destiny. It's getting rid of its loot boxes.
Destiny poo.
I remember we did a lot of coverage on Destiny 2's loot boxes when the game first launched.
Yep.
And we were like, these suck. And they really wound back the store for a time, and then they kind of ramped it up again after that in Destiny 2. Now they've made...
to play.
Say again?
And then
they went free to play, whatever else, and that kind of complicates things further, because it's like, well, should they have a really chunky store if the game is free and what have you? Either way, they said for Season 10, this is Luke Smith, by the way, we're doing away with bright engrams as purchasable items. We want players to know what something costs before they buy it. Bright engrams don't live up to that principle and will no longer be selling them on the Eververse store, though they will still appear in the free Track of the Season pass. Loot boxes, can I say, they've really taken a bit of a knock. I mean, it's pretty rare these days to see games that come out with loot boxes, and a lot of games will remove them. It's like, loot boxes are, they're a bit of a dying breed, thankfully.
Think that we
did it, Reddit. We did it.
Yeah, I think we actually did. I think there's definitely time for a documentary on loot boxes. I feel like we're actually getting over the curve now of that. I feel like, when we first saw loot boxes, it was like, oh my god, this is such a great way to make money in terms of developers. And then it became a dirty word, right? And now I think we're seeing this trend of like, do loot boxes make us as much money? Maybe not. It's not really worth it compared to just doing other ways to monetize.
I think they make a lot of money, but I think it's a case of publishers have realized that core gamers just won't have it. Like mobile games still are entirely about this, but I think they've realized that the cost of it on the core gaming side is that you have dozens, hundreds of angry YouTubers and Twitch streamers constantly blasting your game with negative press, and that you're the gaming media are asking questions about it all the time. It just becomes this talking point, and it's a barrier for people to stop loving your game.
Definitely, and I think that some people hardcore gamers, some of them at least, aren't interested in loot boxes in general. Like Thick Boy has 180 unopened loot boxes in Overwatch, where he's just earned turned. He's just. I was
It's
just
180.
Yeah, I was just opening them for him the other night. Like, some people just aren't interested in it.
That's pretty rare to find that.
Yeah, is it? No,
It's pretty rare to find people who don't want to open the free thing they
Yeah,
got.
I mean, who doesn't want to open a present on their birthday? I mean, let's be real.
Sure.
All right,
So
next.
anyway, look, loot boxes. Fingers crossed, they're dying.
Loot box bad,
Loot
Destiny
box bad.
good.
You know what's still around though? Microtransactions for cosmetics.
Yes.
Dead or Alive 6 decides to take it to the next level, and they'll charge you to change your hair color on PS4.
For a price, $2, isn't it?
Can you imagine being the person
can
that's
you-
like, this is
Yeah.
each ticket, each will cost a premium, cost $1 to change your hair color.
$1.50 Aussie or something.
What a
Yeah.
dick move.
I
man.
mean, we thought that the red dot was bad.
yeah.
Now we're seeing hair color. Ninja blue, is that going to be
That's
even more
definitely a thing.
expensive?
It says Team Ninja. Well, it's actually from Team Ninja, so...
Oh, God.
Nice,
how
there you go,
funny.
Sam. Recently released Core Fighters, free-to-play version of Dead or Alive 6 that gives players access to a limited number of fighters and stages for free, additional characters and other game modes, blah, blah, blah. So I guess this is how they're planning on making their money. Hair color change things for $1.
Yeah, you
I
know
mean,
your game's
come on,
in trouble
man.
when they're asking you to pay for some hair color. Like, come on. I
Yeah,
mean, it's so
not good.
ridiculous.
It's
It's
not
utterly
good.
ridiculous.
It's not good, guys. It's microtransactions bad.
I mean, just off the back of loot boxes, now you have to pay for hair. Like,
Exactly
I'd rather loot
right.
boxes than freaking hair.
We won the loot box war. We lost the hair color tinting
Yes.
war, guys. So you can't win them all.
Mm.
Let's the super chats. We got what do we got? Glad I'm able. This is from Dom Wagner, $5. Glad I'm able to catch the live show. What do you think it would take for CD Projekt Red to end up in the current position of BioWare? Cyberpunk fail? Oh, dude, that's a long journey. That's a long fall right there. That's a very long fall. I don't think we're in any risk of that happening anytime soon.
I think it has so much currency with the... Oh! That's...
Whoa!
Oh.
Robert,
are you sure? Thank you.
God.
That's wonderful.
Robert, so let's deal with this other one first. You
Okay,
were
sorry.
saying thing.
Okay. I do think that this poor guy's like, hey, what about my question?
Yeah. Just because I didn't give $99, you're not going to answer my fucking question.
Yeah. I do think they have so much currency with the consumer. So many good things that they have done that it would take 10 Fallout 76s before we're like,
I don't agree.
No,
I
I'm
think
just
look-
kidding. No, but like it would take not one game. It would take it takes a couple of games.
It takes a lifetime
couple
to build a
games.
reputation and a second to lose it. So,
Not
we'll
necessarily
see.
true. I do feel like EA was getting to the point where they were just doing more and more shitty things, and then Star Wars Battlefront 2 happened, and of course all the shit hit the fan. With Ubisoft, I mean, we were seeing more and more of an amalgamation of just the same old game. All I'm saying is it takes a bit of time, I think, before we just like, oh yeah, this whole company sucks.
Don't you
It's not
dare
like
question
that.
CD Projekt Red in
How
our
dare
chat
you.
ever again. Please, come on now, know your place. We only do CD Projekt Red puff pieces around here, okay? Robert, with
my man. Robert, my man.
You
I
gave
tell you what.
$99.99. Very generous, Robert. Thank you. He says, big ups to my favorite gaming layman. Absolutely love the content and pay tribute. Sam, that song you did was amazing. You nailed the runs and love the video. Thank you both for what you do. Thank you very much, Robert. That's extremely generous of you, friend. Lovely to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much.
We've only got a few minutes left, so we've got to wrap it up. Let's get through it.
Which one do we want to cover?
Yeah, this one here, very quickly. Fortnite is disagreeing with Superdata on how much money Epic is making.
Fake news, okay.
So
it's
Superdata,
great.
we've actually quoted them quite a few times. They give sales data in relation to games. I have always questioned their methodology. I actually have questioned them directly on this, and they said they would send me some information on what their methodology was, but they never got back to me about it. They're one of these sort of like analyst bodies that claims to have some sort of methodology that can tell you exactly how many copies a game have sold, or not exactly, but like ballpark and how much money it's making, etc. And they pull on a variety of sources to do that. What are you pointing at?
Robert, he wanted to celebrate my first month being done paying child support. That's why. Well, that's
Robert. Okay, well,
we appreciate you, man.
That's a dark meme right there.
Hopefully,
That's a very dark
hopefully they're 18. Hopefully, that's why it's stopping.
So, yeah, anyway, they put together data. They recently put together some information saying that Fortnite is at its lowest earnings since 2017. So the game is essentially just on the decline in a big way. And Fortnite, or Epic, hit back saying Superdata does not have and has not ever had access to Epic's Fortnite revenue data, and Superdata's reports do not accurately reflect Fortnite's performance. We are disappointed that Superdata has repeatedly published wildly inaccurate reports about Fortnite based on what we believe is questionable methodology. We do not, while we do not have a publicly shared revenue numbers for Fortnite, we will say that Superdata's reports do not align with reality. I mean, maybe Epic's lying, but I don't think so. I mean, they're the ones that have their data, and if they say that what they're seeing is wildly inaccurate, then they're probably...
I mean, the name of the game is like fake it till you make it, right? And like they've already made it, right? Of course. But if they're in decline, the last thing they're going to do now would be like, yeah, our game is in decline.
Sure.
They want to project the successful image, because if people are thinking that Fortnite is still the hot thing, then the creators and the Twitch streamers are going to continue doing it. It's a domino effect that they don't want to happen. So even if those are correct figures, of course, Fortnite Epic is going to come out and say, "What do you mean, man? Bro, we're making twice as much as we did last year." They're just going to do that.
Either way, I generally have skepticism about those sorts of analyst data stuff anyway. It's all you never know how they get it.
Yeah.
And as someone who's worked in consulting myself, I can tell you that sometimes there's a lot of bullshit that goes.
I was going to say there's heaps of bullshit in consulting, right, Ralph?
You're absolutely correct.
And there's also 12-minute metaphors before you even start the actual presentation.
That's part of consulting. So guys, you might have seen recently that Twitch streamer. Have you seen this, Sam?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay, right. Twitch streamer was recently banned from Twitch because he discharged a firearm at his monitor accidentally. So the clip is pretty nuts. If it's actually no, it's not.
And his wife's in the background like, Clancy, use the remote.
So he's like talking here, and it's actually no. I think he's making his apology. Yeah, that's right. So basically, I'll probably get demonetized if we show it anyway.
There it is.
You guys have seen it. He was like, he had a gun in his hand, and he was making some kind of joke. And then he kind of like took out the mag, and then I think he sort of like flushed the chamber, and then but there was still a round in it, and then he pulled the trigger, and then it just fired off into his wall, and everyone was just like, "Holy shit!" So pretty nuts.
Yeah,
there you go, man.
I mean, there's a shoe on the table for some reason.
Maybe he was about to drink the coke out of the shoe.
Maybe he was doing a shoey.
So that's it. Either way, probably don't use guns while you're streaming. Don't have them handy. Probably not required to have them close by, but that's just me. We're Australians, so what do we know about guns? Am I right, Sam?
I mean, we love guns. You know?
We're a big gun person. Like we had some gun deaths, and then our government was like, "Give us the guns," and we're like, "Okay,
yeah,
here are our guns."
We won't go into that topic. But all we know is we want to protect our Bunnings Amendment.
Our Bunnings Amendment?
Our Bunnings Snag Amendment.
What is that?
The Second Amendment, we have the Bunnings Snag Amendment.
Okay, right.
We never want you to take away our Bunnings Snags.
Correctly right.
Okay, Aussies know what we're talking about.
So,
we're going to do this little thing. Okay, quickly, guys, look at this.
This is good.
This is the peak of if you want a mask on because there's coronavirus. Why does he have a mask on? Is it because it's coronavirus?
He is part of the Lin Kuei.
Oh,
this is the Lin Kuei training bed dojo bed.
Okay, he's part of Lin Kuei and he's having a bit of a rest, and he's laying on two monitors. Oh, in bed. Is that a bed, or is that just like
it is what it is. It's a gaming company that based in Japan, and they're called Bauhut. That looks German, and I probably mispronounced that.
Bauhut.
But anyway, they make all sorts of gaming furniture, and they've put it all together to create the world's first gaming bed. I mean, can you just imagine how many women you would slay if you brought them to your house and they saw this bed? I mean, immediately.
I mean, like, I sleep in a race car every night. I sleep in that.
I sleep in a big bed with my wife. I sleep in a gaming bed.
I sleep in a gaming bed.
This is how you get the ladies,
This is how you do it. This is how you do it. You say at the club, I've got a gaming bed at home. Do you want to play with me?
They say that coronavirus is transmitted through physical contact and kissing. I guarantee if you own this bed, you are very safe from coronavirus.
Oh, you are very safe. You don't need the Lin Kuei mask.
Exactly
you can
right.
Take that off, man.
So guys, we had a few super chats to finish up. Your guys' content is great, says whatever, $10. Can we get a guest appearance of Thick Boy soon? Unfortunately, as I said, he works at a cafe in the morning, and we record in the morning.
He's
so
actually
it's tricky.
working in the coronavirus epicenter of Australia.
He is actually. So
yes,
thoughts and prayers
okay.
for Thick Boy. Lisa with $6. Love your song, Sam. You motivated. Dust off the piano. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
You're an inspiration, Sam.
I'm glad. Yeah, good. I'm glad everyone liked it. That's good. That's good.
And Jejune with £5 says, Epic said the same thing about Paragon until the day before the shutdown. I take everything they say with a grain of salt. Nandor's back with 1,000 Huffington points. People send their money to Laymen in a thank you. One dude sends them $100 and it becomes lovely to have you here. Talk about favoritism. We've said lovely to have you here about lots of people. It's always lovely to have everyone here. Nandor, well, you're a regular. We know you. We love you, man. We appreciate you. Yeah. Guys, that's it for the show. We're 2 minutes over time, and that's just unacceptable.
2 minutes in
actually, we missed this last little bit. We'll finish with this.
Okay.
So, guys, if just someone actually hacked the camera in God of War, right? They desynced it, and so now with this scene when Boulder rolls off, they follow his corpse down, and then as they're going down, they're zooming in on it. This is true. This is not fake, by the way. This is real. They find out that when they get down, Boulder is flipping you off when you get down to the bottom.
Actually incredible.
How amazing is that?
Very cool.
Go and watch this. It's on Twitter. The guy's name is Lance McDonald. It's Man Fight Dragon. He's found a way to desync the PS4 control camera for God of War, so you see all of the fights happen in a different perspective now. It's fucking cool. That's the finish of it. Guys, that's the end of the episode. We're ending the stream. We love you. See you next week. Lots of news next week. Lots of games. Neo, Ori, other things. Maybe Black Mesa.
Death Stranding 2. So there's a few
Death Stranding
things.
2, which Sam just leaked on the stream.
Yep,
We love you
yep.
guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Laymen out.